tell, their families felt safer, at least in particular.
Alright, update tayo guys dito sa ating reaction video. Pero na special coverage ngayon pag-aarap ni ating ex-president Rodrigo Duterte. Sana makamit ang hustisya at maibalik sa Pilipinas si ating Tatay Digong Duterte, no? Alright? Ayan, panoorin po natin yan.
Their own families felt safer while he was the president. So it's a very personal thing for some of them, or for a good number of them.
But I wonder, though, if their minds will change once the evidence is presented, you know, by the prosecutors about the cost of that safety that they're hailing.
But also, I think that's something we could also ask you what you think. Kasi, of course, people. There's several ways of looking at it. There's whether something is in principle right or wrong, or whether your for example your loved ones directly have a benefit out of what is happening. Which is I suppose one reason why there's a lot of people who support the former president even until now, because sabi nga nila, at least on a very personal level, they felt that they had a safer community at hindi sila tinamaan ng drug war.
Well, ang tamang approach dito is meron talaga loyalist yung former president. Meron yung mga galit kasi tinamaan sila, no. Ang tawag dito, ang tamang approach is there has to be sobriety in taking a look at these things, di ba? As a one nation, as a Filipino people, of course we have personalities that we support. Pero ultimately, our loyalty should not be in the personality, but on the rule of law, the Constitution, and our country,
the principles, the values.
So yun yung pinaka, I think, important, no?
For example, I think you can look back at yung panahon ni Ferdinand Marcos Sr. You have the older generation, some of them saying na tahimik na nung panahon na yun.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what we're seeing on our screens right now is the ICC website. May you...
Wala pa rin.
Wala pa rin. Okay, but naka-standby tayo.
Naka-standby tayo.
Sabi lang natin, naka-standby tayo. Ang sabi nila, 9:30 our time, which is...
2:30
their time.
in that
9:30, no? Anong oras na, no? Wala pa rin. Anong oras kaya ang... ayan.
Andiyan rin yung
Magsisimula.
ICTR, the International Criminal Tribunal, specifically set up for Rwanda, no? So andyan rin yung The Hague Conference, no? So ang daming mga international law organizations there, pinili nila na capital yan, no? Kaya ang sarap din diyan around the Hague, because everyone's like on the same page that international law matters.
Okay, balik muna tayo dito sa ating bansa. Drug war victims and their defenders are gathering in Quezon City, and reporting to us live is Faith Del Mundo of News 5. Faith, kamusta dyan at ano ba ang tangka nitong mga nagtitipon-tipon dyan ngayon?
Baka people's power na yan.
Yes, boxes, no? Ngayon nga ay nagsama-sama yung mga human rights defenders at yung mga kaanak ng extrajudicial killings, yung war on drugs, nung kasagsagan nga ng panahon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Ngayon nga ay nakaantabay dito sa National Council of Churches in the Philippines, dito sa kanilang main office, kung saan nga ay inaantabayan ng first initial trial ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, or first appearance si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa The Hague, sa the Netherlands. At ito nga ay activity ng The Rise Up. Kung makikita nyo nga dito ay nakaantabay na pati yung mga kasama natin sa media, yung mga kaanak ng biktima nandito na rin, at ilan nga sa kanila ay nakausap natin. Sila ay excited at iba naman ay kinakabahan. At kung makikita nyo, nandun yung sa malaking screen, nandyan maya-maya nga lamang ay inatabayan na ngayon yung pre-trial ng dating Pangulong Duterte. Ang sinasabi nga dito ay inaasahang magsisimula yung initial proceedings ng 9 p.m. dito Philippine time o alas 2 ng hapon sa The Hague. Inaasahang magsisimula ang initial proceeding na may 30 minutes delay. According nga yan sa paliwanag ng abogado ng EJK victims sa
Ayan, alas 10 pa, no?
Kanina sa One News, at mamaya nga may
alas 10 pa magsisimula.
Ngayon ay nag-aabang pa sila, magkahalo ang kanilang emosyon ng iba. At sinasabi nila sa atin ay masaya sila nung naaresto si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte.
Kumbaga, parang watch party, ano, Faith?
Yes,
in
yes.
yeah.
Oo, ito ay parang watch party. Kanina nga lamang kanina ay nagsama-sama sila. Galing sila sa isang rally rin. Pero dahil nga sinuong nila yung traffic at mas maganda raw na magsama-sama sila at sabay-sabay nilang panoorin. At mamaya nga na aalamin natin yung kanilang reaksyon matapos nga yung gagawing pre-trial kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte.
Alam mo, ang maganda dyan, pag lumitaw yung dating Pangulo dyan o kaya magsalita, tingnan mo yung mga reaction nila, how they react to the former president and what he has to say. Diba? Kasi you can imagine.
Yung initial reaction,
emotional,
Oo.
Diba?
Sabi mo nga, medyo ninenervyos ang karamihan dyan sa watch party na yan, Faith.
Yes, yes, totoo yan. No? Yung iba kasi ninenervyos, syempre, sabi nga nila, simula nung inaresto si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, ay inuulit nila yung kwento nung kanilang kaanak na namatay. So usually, sabi nga nung iba, nakausap natin, 2017 pa yung iba. So ito ay basa 8 years ago na. So hanggang sa mga oras na ito, sabi nila, naaalala pa nila. Pero ang hilinga nila ay sana maaresto si dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte para makamit nila ang hustisya. Ses?
Okay, maraming salamat, Faith, at aantabayan natin ang reaksyon ng mga pamilya ng mga biktima ng war on drugs dyan sa watch party na yun. Kakaiba, no? I mean, I hate to call it a party, right? Because...
Watch event.
Watch event. Watch
Okay.
event.
Watch
It's,
event.
more
Sige,
neutral.
sige.
Attorney, I was saying kanina, parang I do recall kasi nung, for example, in 2022, nung kainitan ng kampanya for the presidential elections, one of the more prevalent narratives was yung older people saying na nung panahon na ni Marcos Sr., tahimik naman ang kanilang komunidad, nawala yung gulo, ganun-ganon, at hindi sila naapektuhan ng martial law, kaya okay lang yung martial law noon. Parang I can draw a parallel between that and in a way yung how some people feel about the drug war. Pag hindi ako tinamaan ng personal, we tend to overlook other things.
Well, alam mo, what I would suggest is dapat siguro kahit na ano pa yung kulay mo, political color mo, is you would suspend judgment at this point and let the process takes its natural course, no? Panoorin natin kung ano nangyari. Anyway, 6 years naman sa poder si Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. The last 3 years, he was able to, sinasabi niya, justified lahat, no? Pero never naman nagkaroon ng poder yung mga victims, eh. Never naman nagkaroon ng proper formal avenue to express their side. So let's suspend judgment kahit na pro Duterte ka pa, let the victims also express their side in a neutral forum, in the ICC. Anyway, President Duterte will be allowed to air out his defenses. So if they are saying that his defenses are airtight, if there's
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm technically I'm Santrina, and we'll do a dual role.
Alright, live na live yan sa Netherlands.
And I'm happy to bring up here. Yeah, it was gone. So yeah, a long time ago. Last summer.
Alright, ayan po ay hinihintay natin, no? Kay Duterte.
that there's justification behind these actions. to be afraid to ventilate their defenses in the proper neutral forum, di ba? And that's the ICC. So let the of the 1987 Constitution, which is the highest expression of the sovereign will of the people. So hindi nila pwedeng sabihin na tayo mismo na deklara na international law is ours, forms part of the law of the land, and then sasabihin mo foreign, di ba? It's a little bit incompatible. It is part of the law of the land, it is ours.
Right, we now have an update from the ICC as indicated by the presiding judge. Mr. Duterte is present and attending the proceedings.
Creating a
via
website
video
can be
link.
complex.
As
Choose
Mr.
Hosting,
Duterte
a simple
made
place to
a
host your WordPress
journey,
site.
The chamber
You'll love to
authorized
click
the hearing at a distance. Okay, so he's not present in
He's
the
not physically there in the courtroom.
Yes. His counsel, however, is present with us in the courtroom. All right, that's
So that's
the
allowed
latest
pala.
update.
That is allowed. Again, as I told you, sui generis, di ba? Every single thing that must be considered will be considered by the International Criminal Court. Lagi yan. So, kaya lagi ko sinasabi kanina, what could we expect? Ang hirap, but based on the rules, ito yung mga checklist na mga kailangan nilang ma-accomplish, but there are also different, various things that can happen that they must also take into consideration.
Okay, so kung video link, nakikita ba siya ng audience? Is there a big screen?
Yes, I would suppose so. Kasi even in previously, mga nag-a-attend has that screen. Meron yung screen dun sa right and sa left side. Kasi the way it's arranged, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's still like that, diba? Maraming tables sa right, maraming tables sa left, which is yung sa prosecution, yung dun sa doon sa
Defense.
accused. And then, meron rin sa gitna which are the victims. Kasi hindi lang prosecution and accused ang nagpa-participate here. Let's remember that it's triple party yung
Okay.
ano dito. kasama
Lawyers
yung
of the victims.
Of the victims and the witnesses can participate, can cross-examine too, ha? Oo, hindi lang
Even
dalawang
the
party.
lawyers.
Yes. Oo. So, again, it's sui generis, di ba? It's a class of its own. Yung proceedings dyan sa International Criminal Court.
Well, doesn't explain the why their link is not yet working. But, may aberya din. May aberya din doon. Akala ko ba sabi mo high-tech?
Kasi hindi
Padala
natin
ng loob.
alam. Malayo mo, may mga things pa yun na kinoconsider. I think, for example, this matter na hindi dumating si Mr. Duterte, baka kumukuha pa sila ng special dispensation and baka nag-deliberate pa yung magistrates to start already. Or kung i-require ba siya pumasok, pero siguro pinagbigyan nila kasi pagod. Right? Again, yan yung mga kinoconsider. Kaya siguro it started also late. We're not sure
Yeah.
because of that
Okay.
circumstance.
We will know.
With the video link, do we assume that there's also an audio link that's on all the time? Or
Yes, that's
or maaari siyang patayin ng judges?
Pwede, definitely.
It's necessary.
Kasi sa ano yan dun sa custodial center yan, sa custody center niya, no? So, malamang the ones who are actually in control of the tech there are the custodial
I asked
members of
kasi,
the center.
but, of course, the former president will be asked certain things, like whether he understands the charges, whether he knows his rights and all that. So he would have to respond, or his lawyer would have to
Yeah,
respond.
may nag-ooperate nung...
But at the same time, we know that the former president also likes to talk. So if he starts talking, can he just go on talking?
He can just go on talking for so long that the discretion of the magistrates or the judges will hold during that time. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to go back to that. Meantime, the UP College of Law hosted an academic seminar called a colloquium
Alright guys, yan ito ay
of the Republic of the Philippines. That's a very
isang reaction video ni Rob Trip. And don't forget to subscribe
Good evening, Mary.
this channel, alright?
Jan, tell us what happened.
Good evening, Sir Ed and Mrs. Kanina lang nagkaroon ng colloquium nga itong UP College of Law in partnership or kasama ang Institute of International Legal Studies. And kanina naging very productive, lalo-lalo na para sa mga law students and yung lahat ng nakikinig pagdating doon sa paglilinaw on complicated legal issues or topics na pinagdadebatehan daw ngayon, lalo-lalo na pagdating sa public discourse tungkol sa International Criminal Court kasunod na pagkakaaresto kaya former President Rodrigo Duterte sa sinasabing kanyang crime against humanity kaugnay sa kanyang kinalaman sa EJK at laban kontra droga noong siya'y namumuno. Ito ay para sa ikalalawak ng kaalaman ng mas nakararami nang wala raw partisan posturing na magagawa. And isa sa pinaka napag-usapan din kanina ay yung pagkakaaresto sa kay Pangulong Duterte nitong Martes na sinasabi ni Assistant Professor Theodore Te ay by the book naman daw. If I may quote him, ang nasabi niya kanina, I don't think there were any irregularities in that sense. I noticed many reports saying that he was read his Miranda rights, which technically doesn't apply in the sense that he is not charged with any criminal offense in the Philippines. And so, but even that particular step was a step that was taken with great prudence to make sure that he understood that there were certain rights that protected him even though he is not accused in any relation to a crime or felony under Philippine law. Ayon din kanina, narinig din at nakausap natin itong retired ICC judge na si Emeritus Rola Pangalanan. Maayos, modern at kumpleto ang pasilidad para doon sa iba pang magiging concern ng panig ni Duterte. Kaya kahit pang medical emergencies ay madali daw itong maaagapan, and even yung problema raw or possible concern pagdating sa kakainin ay rest assured ma-address dahil religiously and culturally sensitive yung diet daw na hinahain doon. And dagdag pa niya inaasahan daw nila yung paghingi ng kampo ni Duterte ng interim release. Pero if ever daw na magagrant ito sa kanila, ay rest assured naman na magiging limitado pa rin yung paggalaw ni Duterte to guarantee or para magkaroon ng assurance na hindi magkakaroon ng pagtakas sa pagharap sa pagdinig. And same goes din para sa safety and security ng mga ebidensya, ng witnesses, or para maiwasan din yung possible repetition or continuation of the crimes which the accused is charged. Nalinaw rin kanina na wala raw kaso sa bansa laban sa dating Pangulo, kaya hindi raw maaaring tignan o gamiting panglaban dito yung sinasabi principle of complementarity sa sitwasyon na kinakaharap. Maaari rin ngayong gamitin, lalo-lalo na pag nagsimula na talaga yung pre-trial. Pero ngayon kasi initial appearance pa lang ni Duterte yung inaabangan natin. Pero pag nagtuloy na ito, magagamit din daw na ebidensya yung mga open source information tulad ng even yung records ng pronouncement ni Duterte on EJK at laban sa droga. Or pwede rin daw gamitin yung speeches ng resource persons doon sa mga isinagawang hearing ng House noong mga lumipas na linggo o buwan. At ayon din sa kampo ni Duterte, kung naalala natin yung mga binabantayan natin, dapat daw may extradition na nasunod o hindi ito nangyari bago ilipad to The Hague, Netherlands itong si Duterte. Pero nilinaw ng panel kanina, and if I may quote si Attorney Rubil Rosel Tugade, under Rome statute, it's surrender or extradition. And extradition would imply another state is involved. And in the case of former President Duterte, it was a surrender. So by the textual definition of the Rome Statute, it's not an extradition. Overall, isa sa mga nakita nila na sana raw ay mangyari sa mga susunod na araw, linggo, buwan o taon, ay yung mabusising pagtingin, lalong-lalo na doon sa kung paano ginawa yung pattern of criminality sa sinasabing crimes against humanity ni Duterte. And isa pa sa pinaka-antabayanan din natin, kumpara sa, which is different or in contrast sa korte dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, kung saan meron tayong prosecutors and defense sides, pagdating sa korte, doon sa ICC, mayroong third legal representation. At ito ay manggagaling doon sa panig naman ng mga biktima sa pamamagitan ng Victims Council. So doon sila magkakaroon ng pagkakataon. Subject din ito kung gusto nilang magkaroon ng anonymity. Subject ito to evaluation sa kanila. Doon nila makukuha yung pagkakataon na mag-share din ng kanilang testimonies. Pwede nila i-cross-check yung witnesses and testimonies ng dalawang panig. And hopefully doon na nga makuha kung ano man yung magiging justified decision para kay Duterte.
Okay. Maraming
Para ng abogado itong si Mary mo na.
Ang galing, oh. Alam mo, mag-isa lang yan, ha?
Oo.
That's our mojo from UP. Merimon Reyes, I'm sorry, taga-UST pala siya. But she's UP tayo na, kasama sa UST. Maraming salamat, Merimon Reyes, reporting live from University of the Philippines. Thank you, Merimon. Okay, we're still waiting for live feed from The Hague.
Pareho ang sinabi ng mga panelists doon sa sinabi nyo, attorney.
Siyempre, medyo nakinig rin naman ako doon sa mga seminar nila kanina. So, kasi I was working and then I was supposed to attend personally, pero dahil nga ang dami rin mga interview tsaka ang daming work, siyempre nagtatrabaho naman tayo.
But to one of the points being raised na because there is no pending case against Duterte, therefore the issue of complementarity does not apply. How does that work? I mean, what if the defense argues that well, then you should have filed a case to test the.
Alright, antabayanan po natin ang unang pagharap ni dating President Rodrigo Duterte dito sa ICC, no? Sa Netherlands, sa Hague. Alright, maraming salamat and peace out.